Hello, my name is Yo Zhang, and I am doing my individual projects based on Zero Trust Security Model for Cybersecurity 332. The professor's name is Jennifer Grant. This is for spring semester 2025. And so the reason why I chose Zero Trust Security Model is because it's intriguing to me to see how technology has evolved and how hacking can happen just with like a Bluetooth connection or a Wi-Fi connections and being able to prevent attacks like this from happening, whether it's like inside or outside. It's something that it's really important for me to learn as a cybersecurity students that I'm studying in. And so, what is Zero Trust? Zero Trust, what it means is that no default users or devices or applications should be trusted, meaning that they must always be verified before allowing any connections or accessing to that system or a organization's network. The term or the it's a modern security framework that never trusts and always verify before accessing, even for users and devices, to get into an organization's network. The model assumes that a breach could happen at any time, and it treats every attempt to get a connection as a potential threat. So then this limits the attacks. If they have one connection, they can have all connections so that it prevents that from happening. So a history about Zero Trust is that, or some history is that the concept came to be in 2009, which was introduced by a principal analyst named John Kenderveg, who works from Foster Research. In 2010, companies like Google's began adapting this zero trust into their businesses due to their data breaches. In 2014, they launched Beyond Corp, which is a security framework based on zero trust principle to support its global workforce without using the traditional VPN or firewalls. And then in 2020, with the rise of remote work and cloud services and cyber attacks happening, Zero Trust became a priority for governments and businesses to use in their day-to-day basis. So why does Zero Trust matter? It matters because it matters because with traditional security models, it relies heavily on outer defenses, meaning that if hackers or attackers are able to get into an organization's and break the outer defense and get into the inside, they'll be able to access all of the data and information from that organizations. Today's mobile and cloud-based environments, threats can originate from both inside and outside of the network. So Zero Trust prevents this from happening because um, it helps prevent verification at every step. And so Zero Trust provides a better protection in environment by limiting trust and requiring verification at every steps. With how it works is that it authenticates and authorizes user devices when they're trying to access the network or data within organizations by having them verify those steps every time that they are trying to get access to the network or a file or the data. And so it limits user access to only what is necessary. So meaning that if you are an employee that should only be able to read the files or data that you have access to, you'll be put into like a read only, and you can't edit or change the files. And if you need to, then you would have to have further verification in order to do that. It operates in the mindset that the network is already compromised and its design system to minimize the damages from happening further. With real-world use cases for these is that device could be hacked with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connections due to its automatically connections. When you turn on the Bluetooth, you just have to like click on the Bluetooth on your phone or on a computer, and it will sync up if it automatically connected. And so what this does is that it prevents hackers from being able to get further information if they're able to access your device or the network with this sort of attack. Another thing is that phishing and social engineering attacks. So if you don't know phishing or social engineering, what phishing is that when you click on the link, it takes you to like a fake website where you would take in where you put in your information, and I'm sorry, and hackers can use those information to get into your system. Along with social engineering, it's when you are um, it's when you are talking to someone and you accidentally give information to them um, without the knowledge, and they take that information and are able to use it to log into your system or the network. With insider threats, whether it's accidental or intentionally, Um, it with zero trust, it could help prevent further damages for employee that are trying to take information or data from an organization, and they should not have those access. And along with the network, well, I'm sorry, along with the remote work and with connections when you're at home or at a coffee shop, when you are connected to your network or your organization with unsecured networks, it um, can help, zero trust can help prevent anyone that is trying to get access to your information with unsecured networks. Another um, thing is that multi-factor authentication is also really helpful with this zero trust model, with sending you a code to be able to access like your login, or when, for example, Google does where it asks you if you are logging to your Google account at this time. You would have to like click yes or no to be able to verify and log in. With traditional parameter security, it's no longer enough with just the VPN, the firewalls, because attacks that could happen from inside, and the this traditional models doesn't prevent attacks from happening from inside. And so the benefit of zero trust is that it improves protection for sensitive data that employees should not have access to, or users that should not have access to those sensitive data. It limits those protection. It limits those leaks of those sensitive data. It also helps reduce impact of breaches, meaning that if someone were to get into your data or your organizations, they have to further prove themselves or provide verification to get further information from it. They enhance visibility and controls over user and devices, meaning that you're able to control what a user or devices should have, or what information that they have access to. It also supports compliance with modern cybersecurity regulations. And so, meaning that with the evolve of technology, attacks and hackers are now able to access the data or networks from within the organizations. And this is my source.